And welcome in to Thursday, February 6th. Thomas Miller back with you. Thanks for joining us. I've got some good news today. Mars, that square that we've had between Mars and Venus, is gone. Yes. Yes. That's a good thing. Boy, it's like clear the air. Get your foot off my throat. And that's just as Venus is at 28 degrees Pisces. See, the whole transit basically had this Mars foot on the throat square that has just now been released just in time for Venus to move into Aries. And I guess wouldn't that be about the same thing as being square to Mars, right? Being in Aries would be about the same thing. So that fiery energy and Venus does not go away for another about 3 weeks. Okay, let's do this today. I wanted to extend kind of yesterday's conversation because I know some of you are probably left after yesterday's podcast with going, what? Okay, so it's weaving the parts of astrology together. So I'm going to presume that if you didn't listen to yesterday, maybe you could jump over and catch that real quick as a basis for this. But basically, as you start to weave things together in this astrological study and application, if you take 12 cards and make them the signs and write down some keywords of each sign, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, etc., okay? Takes 12 more cards and write down keywords from the 12 houses. And I suggested you can get that in kind of one-stop shop on a website called Astrocodex, C-O-D-E-X, astrocodex.com. Then you take another card and you write down you take 10 more cards and you write down the planets and the luminaries. Same thing, catch some keywords. And then you start to obviously observe these things in your own chart because you know yourself best, so you can see how these characteristics have played out in your own life. Then you can take the elements. That's the book, the audiobook series that I'm narrating for Steve Forrest. It's called the Elements series. He started with fire. Fire, earth, air, water. That's the sequence he's releasing them. I'm working on earth right now. And those are the elements. So you start to weave in the elements. So the elements relate, and then you do the qualities. Those are the cardinal, fixed, and mutable signs. So that's just 2 more note cards. Put your elements on one and list each element's signs and houses and planets. And then you write down the qualities, cardinal, fixed, mutable. Okay? Then you start paying attention to the degrees. So like today, like Venus at 28 degrees in Pisces. So one of the places you can start weaving together is what are the other mutable signs? Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini. So you look at your chart. Now we've seen the sky overhead has Venus at 28 degrees Pisces today. Do you have any planets in Gemini, Virgo, Sag, or Pisces at or near, and I would say no more than 3 degrees off, 2 really, 26, 27, 28, or 29 degrees Pisces, or one of those other mutable signs, then that's apt to be a trigger of whatever's going on with Venus. And that's how you start to weave all of this together. Now, there is one other transit that I think we need to point out. This would be for today and tomorrow. That's the moon has moved into Cancer. It moved in yesterday afternoon. It is squarely in there today. I'm looking at a, 8:30 in the morning Eastern time chart, and it's at 10 degrees. So through the day, it's going to move from 10 to about, 18 degrees today and tonight. But tomorrow it sets the stage where the moon will be opposite Saturn-Pluto. So tomorrow morning's chart, the moon will be at 24 degrees Cancer. That's going to be opposite Saturn and Pluto, which are in Capricorn at 23 degrees for Pluto, 25 degrees for Saturn. Okay? Now there's where you can do some work because you have the moon in a water sign, Saturn, Pluto in an earth sign. So there are your elements. So you can play with 23, 24, 25. You can play with that range of degrees in your earth and water signs. And then both Cancer and Capricorn are cardinal qualities. So take a look at your Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn signs and see if you have anything there. But I like to keep this just kind of macro. What's the weather overhead for all of us? You know, what we're talking about now is, are you going to select a raincoat or just an umbrella? And that's a personal discretion or a personal decision. And yet the weatherman just basically talks about it's going to rain today or it's going to be sunny and hot today. So we'll just kind of keep it more toward that. But I wanted to use these 2 days to answer that question because I thought it was a great one. We'll do it when we can. We'll extrude it when we can without making it too complicated. But the big deals for today, the keywords today, no Mars-Venus square anymore. Yay! And Moon moving into position to oppose Saturn-Pluto. So just watch for that energy. Stuff could be coming up around that karmic purpose and path again as the moon triggers, as it does when it is in its home sign of Cancer. Have a great Thursday. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.